Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Oscar's English World. We're here right now at Brooklyn Bridge, right Thomas?
Yep, so specifically speaking, the one behind us would be Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep.
We're now right next to the East River, which is the river that separates Brooklyn and Manhattan. And so for trains and, for cars and people to go through to one place to another, they built this bridge for people to transport between the two places easier.
Okay, good. So what do you know about the history of the Brooklyn Bridge?
Well, Brooklyn Bridge was opened in 1883, and it has gone through a lot of different pretty tough projects. A lot of construction went on, and back in the day there wasn't very as advanced of building technologies as we have now, so a lot of people had to pay a lot more work to get this bridge built.
Yeah, and when it was opened, the president at the time, President Chester A. Arthur, actually crossed the bridge to meet with the Brooklyn mayor, Seth Low, And you know what happened a few days afterwards?
Did it collapse?
No, I think a woman fell down the Brooklyn Bridge and actually died, So afterwards, people were suspicious of the stability of the bridge. So what they did was that they got P.T. Barnum, you know who that is, right? P.T. Barnum, the circus guy. And what he did was that he led his parade of elephants across the bridge, so that in order to prove that the bridge was stable and fit for use, okay? And you know who came up with the idea for the Brooklyn Bridge?
No.
Yeah, the guy who came up with the idea was a guy called John Augustus Roebling, right? Who was a German immigrant, and he came up with the idea in the year 1852, okay? And back then, and then he spent the next 15 years trying to promote the idea. And fortunately, in 1867, the New York State Senate passed a bill, right? And the bill allowed the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge. So 2 months later, the New York and Brooklyn Bridge Company was incorporated, and they started working the project.
That sounds very interesting, and it certainly was a great idea from him, if I would say so.
Exactly, but the sad thing was that not long after that, he was working on the project when suddenly a ferry came over and pinned his foot against a piling, right? So he got infected and he had to amputate his toes. Ouch. Right?
Yeah.
Ouch.
That's painful.
But then that's not the worst part. The worst part is that he died of a tetanus infection afterwards. So his son had to be responsible for the project.
I see.
So I got the exact quote of the son right here. He was 32 years old at the time. His name was Washington Roebling, and he said, "Here I was at the age of 32, suddenly put in charge of the most stupendous engineering structure of the age. The prop on which I had hitherto leaned had fallen. Henceforth I must rely on myself. How much better when this happens early in life, before we realize what it all implies." Right? And of course, he had some help from his wife, Emily Warren Roebling, because she knew about higher mathematics and stuff like that. So she helped him in that department.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how the bridge was, how they actually built the bridge? They took some boxes called caissons, Caissons, giant upside-down boxes made out of yellow pine, and then they put those the towers on top of those boxes until they sank to the bottom of the river, and the men would dive in and then pump air into those boxes, and then they would also get some of the debris out and things like that, and until finally it sank to the bottom of the sea, the bedrock. When it hit bedrock, they were certain that the bridge was stable enough. So the entire bridge still rests on these constructions to this very day.
I see.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be going up there, and we'll be talking a bit more about the Brooklyn Bridge, you know, hopefully. And tell me what you think, okay? See you later, folks. Hello, everybody. We're now on the Brooklyn Bridge at this very moment. What do you think?
Well, it's a little bit windy up here, but it's pretty nice weather. As you can see, Brooklyn Bridge has areas, this path for bikes and people to travel on and walk through the bridge. And underneath, we also have roads for a car to go through.
That's nice. And did you know that Brooklyn Bridge has a main span of 1,595.3 feet? Did you know that?
No, that's pretty long.
Yeah, and also its height is approximately 483 feet.
That's pretty precise.
Exactly. Okay. So what do you think of the area? What is that bridge over there? What's that bridge over there?
Well, that bridge over there is the Manhattan Bridge, and unlike this bridge, it's got a subway system that goes through it.
Cool. Okay, why don't we take a look at the scenery surrounding this place? You know, because it's worth taking a look at. Okay, so that's all, folks. We'll see you later. Goodbye.